Hi, Barbara Hart. I created this painting called Doll Portrait Number 3, Sonia. It's a oil on paper. It's part of a series I'm working on right now called Doll Portraiture. I'm painting portraits of dolls from eBay listings. I got into this because I've always loved toys and related to them in a sort of real way. My mother-in-law has had a very old Madame Alexander doll that she was given when she was a child. She never played with it. It was in its original box, and she wanted to know the value, and so I started to look it up on eBay, and this is actually the type of doll it was. It's the Sonia Henny. What amazed me was the fact that there are many, many of them for sale. And in the descriptive photo area, they look very different. Each listing is different in terms of condition and whatnot, but also they're photographed by people who aren't really photographers. And the odd thing is that it's the same doll again and again, but for some reason she looks completely different in the different photographs. And I love that because I'm very much into projecting a narrative on dolls, and some of them are just so striking to me. And I think I'm probably projecting a sort of, emotional narrative. And so to me, the ones that seem like they've somehow been mistreated or are in a dangerous situation or something is wrong, those are the ones I paint. And this particular one is, well, she's actually probably a fraud. She is a Sonia Henny doll by Madame Alexander, but she's being presented as a doll in mint condition in her original outfit, which this is actually a little rag of velour that's been wrapped around her toga style, and everything's wrong about her hair. So, that's no big deal to me, but it kind of puts me in the place where I'm seeing her as a captive who's being mistreated. And it also, she's very sexualized in this particular pose. I'm sure they didn't do it on purpose, but it just reads that way to me. So I loved the image, and so I painted it. And then I've painted, several other images of her and moving along doing this. And I'm, the reason I'm doing it is I'm really intentionally trying not to fall into the doll cliche, which is very hard to avoid. But I don't want to paint a scary doll or a doll that represents the decline of Western civilization or any kind of bad thing. What I'm really doing is relating to the doll by projecting my own narrative on her, obviously. But I think, before this I was doing mugshot portraits, and then I was doing portraits of children in daguerreotype photos. And I started realizing what I'm really doing is I'm taking, there's an object or a person who is then photographed in what I perceive to be a confining space, and not probably against their will. And it seems to me that by doing the portrait, as an artist, I feel like I'm giving them some dignity in recognizing and recording, honoring their emotion where they are at that specific time. And it feels that way. It feels like I'm somehow liberating them, even though they're not being liberated at all, because all of this is in the past, but it feels like it somehow corrects or at least acknowledges a past wrong. So that's what it's about. Yeah, and I'm enjoying doing it very much. And it's going to move on. There's another aspect of it which I really don't quite understand yet, but I'm very interested in the difference between, how we as humans change in our different environments at different times. Our bodies change, but we're still the same individual within our body. And so part of it is about bodies. And I'm very interested in another doll that I've started working on she looks so much like a child medical patient. One of my big interests is in children who are patients and have to undergo painful procedures and are asked to be a good girl while we hurt you. And it's an acceptable thing. Everybody goes, oh, she's such a good girl, she's so brave, and while we just, cut a hole in her back or something. So that's, I'm going in that direction, but also in, just the transition between skin and plastic skin and plastic surgery. And there's just a weird little, I don't know. It's a weird little area for me to explore. I don't know why I'm exploring it, but I'm having a good time. I'm going to keep doing it. So that's my story.